Okay, hey guys, welcome back to ZearthTrading weekly updates. So let's take a look at the market for the upcoming week. So before we start, I'm going to do something a little bit different this week. I'm going to talk about the weekly candle and the daily candle. Alright, I'm going to summarize everything and we're going to go through it quickly. So on the news side, we have quite a number of news this upcoming week. So it's going to be a busy week for us. But for me, as long as you take a look at the technicals, pretty much the price action is going to tell you that how this thing is going to play out, right? Let's talk about the chart. So UK on a weekly time frame looks pretty bullish. So I'm expecting the market to continue to go up until maybe Sun 500 or Sun 630. However, there are two news on Monday and Tuesday, so it's going to be talking about the GDP and the manufacturing PMI. So if you have a long position, maybe you can just be a little bit more careful on this market, right? On a weekly candle, we're pretty bullish for UK. Hong Kong, on the other hand, is rather bearish on this weekly candle. So if you want to long, and it's not the time to long yet, you have to wait around 25,300 areas and see if you're going sideways again. So right now, this is not a counter that you should long for now. So using the Bollinger Band strategy, basically what you see is that market came down, created a floor, came back up. It couldn't break past their Bollinger mid, then it sells down again, and now what we're seeing is that it comes up, to the Bollinger mid again, and then it got rejected. So we are probably seeing market going back to 24800 areas, but this is just a likelihood. It may go further down, it may not go there, or it may just touch and rebound. So we let the market tell us on the next few weeks. The Australia 200 market, basically we're seeing a little bit of sideways movement. So if the market were to go down or turn bearish, it will at least take another 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah, maybe next week it can go all the way down, but I expect this 600 areas to support pretty well. The S&P 500, finally we're seeing a little bit of sell down, right? This is the start of the sell down. This is a small confirmation, but remember I did mention that this 2960 area is pretty strong, right? So as of what I'm seeing right now, this market is still stalling, is still holding pretty well, so there's no reason to aggressively short this market. In fact, in my honest opinion, this 2926 areas and this 2913 area proved to be quite a strong support. So if you're looking for a long, this is a good place to enter. If you're looking for a short, maybe you can take a day trade or enter a trade and quit like after a few days or when you see a potential trend change. Same goes for US 30 and Nasdaq. So let's draw into the daily candle. Right, this is the most important part because we're trading day by day, week by week. So we're not going to use the weekly candle to do a very big sort of analysis, right? We just want to know what the trend is, where the trend is using the weekly candle, and based on that information, we want to decide what we can do for the coming week, right? So what you're seeing here is that this UK market it came up, then it stalled a bit, it went back up, then what you're seeing is that it goes all the way here and trap the sellers, right? Trap the sellers here. So those people who sell on the 24th, they're making profit, and people who enter late after that, somewhere around this area, they sell, and then the market rebound right? So pretty much all these people that got trapped. The only positive for sellers is that market came up to the place where we sit, where the other sellers are looking at, the 450 areas, and it got rejected. But in my honest opinion, this market is still pretty bullish until we see a red candle on Monday. However, if this 7300 is not to be broken and this 7 to 20 areas is not to be broken, then market is still pretty bullish, right? So based on this situation, you can decide whether you want to do a short trade or a medium term trade. There is nothing much to say about Hang Seng. The views here is exactly like what you're seeing on a weekly time frame, so it's still pretty bearish, and there's no reason for us to long right now. Australia 200, we're seeing rejection on Friday, right? However, this 660 areas is still a pretty strong floor. So unless this area is broken, I don't see there is a need to aggressively short this counter. The S&P 500, we see a decent sell down on Friday, right? However, what I want to emphasize on is that on the last 2 hours of the market, what you're seeing here is that the market refused to go down. So whatever that was thrown by these people, they got supported 2 hours before the market closes, and this, in my honest opinion, is a pretty bullish sign. So I think for this S&P 500 to go down, we need a little bit more news, a little bit more bad news from the US side. So the market may come back up all the way to 2980, and if that shows sign of rejection, then this 2960 area is going to break easily, right? So no hurry to short unless it gaps down on Monday, but if it gaps down, let the market come up first. You don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the trade, because generally the market structure is still pretty bullish. The same goes for Dow Jones and this Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, I think I saw quite a bad sell down too on Friday, but you see, however, market recovered 2 hours before the closing. This means that the bull are still pretty much in control of the market, right? So that's all I have for this week's updates. So as usual, thank you for listening to my updates. I hope you guys find this beneficial to you.